This story takes place in a small town in Montana. There was pretty much nothing to do as a teenager growing up in this small town. On Friday nights, we would usually go down to this old lake, steal some beer out of my friend's garage, and listen to music, drink, party. There was about 5 of us. Me, Luke, Brian, Jessica, which is Luke's girlfriend, and Brandon. We were troublemakers and always liked to find a thrill. This lake was behind a cemetery and was a bit creepy. We had been there almost the entire summer and nothing happened until one night. I would never forget it for the rest of my life. It started like a typical night, drinking, partying by the lake, like almost every day in the summer. Luke and Jessica took a walk to get some privacy, I guess. I brushed it off as they always do crazy stuff like that, so I thought nothing of it. About 30 minutes later, Luke came running back screaming, "They took her! They took her! Took who?" I replied. Then I realized that Jessica was not with him. We were all pretty much buzzed by now and laughed it off. "What, she leave you?" Brandon said. No. A man came charging out of the woods and knocked me over and grabbed Jessica. I had no time to react. "Did you see which way they went?" said Brandon. "No," said Luke. At this point, we were all kind of freaked out. We all split up, grabbed our cell phones, got the flashlight app out, and started splitting up in different directions looking for her. About 10 minutes later, I heard Brian scream. We all ran to his scream. "What, Brian?" said Luke. "Look, over there." To this day, I cannot believe it. It was a leg. A real fucking leg. At this point, all 4 of us took off in separate directions. People started coming at us from all different directions, out of nowhere, trying to grab us. I made it back to the car and everyone was waiting for me, frantically. "Let's go!" Brandon said. "Hurry up!" I got in the car and started it. We all made it out of there safe. Luke started to call Jessica's cell phone over and over and over. "Luke, she's dead," said Brandon. Then after 10 calls, someone answered. Jessica? It was her. She said she fought the guy off, ran and made it to the gas station. She just got off the phone with her parents. They were on their way to pick her up. What is going on? We're all still in shock. We looked at each other in disbelief. Whose fucking leg was that? No one answered me. All still in shock. This happened about 8 months ago, and all 5 of us never talked about it again. We never, ever went back to those woods. We never called the police about the leg, but almost every day I wonder, just whose fucking leg was that? Be very careful next time going into the woods and partying. You never know what or who or what group of psychopaths are out there. Thanks for listening.
Scary fun, then I hope you find these tales close to just right. Or should I say, just fright. I invite you now to turn out the lights, hold on tight to your teddy bear, and face your darkest fears. Without further ado, the Scary Story Podcast presents El Cuco. El Cuco. El Cuco comes for children who don't listen to their parents, Juan told little Johnny again as he kissed his son goodnight. El Cuco comes for children who stay up past their bedtime, Be strong, my son. Be good. It was the same story that Juan's father had told him when he was a child. Thousands and thousands of Spanish-speaking children went to bed each night with the story of El Cuco. But here in the United States of America, you were not supposed to tell such things to little children. The counselors and psychologists said it was not healthy, and Juan's wife agreed. "Juan, please stop telling him that cuckoo story," she said. "I don't want little Johnny to have nightmares." "Yes, dear," Juan said. Juan loved his son very much and didn't want him to become a mama's boy, un nene de mamá. He knew the world was sometimes a cold, hard place, and that little Johnny would have to learn to be tough and hard too. He wanted him to be strong on the inside. But Juan was losing the battle. Little Johnny wasn't strong. He was soft and flabby and gooey on the inside. He was un llorón de primera, a world-class crybaby, always crying to his mother about every little thing. "El Cuco lives in that hole in the wall over there," Juan told little Johnny the next night. "He waits for niños malos, bad children, and then he comes out for them. Be strong, my son, be good." A few minutes later, little Johnny was knocking on his parents' bedroom door. "Daddy told me the cuckoo would get me," he cried. "He said it would come out of the hole in the wall." "Poor baby," his mother said, hugging little Johnny tightly and giving Juan a dark look. "Silly Daddy will patch that hole and that mean cuckoo won't be able to get you." The next morning, Juan got his putty knife, mixed some plaster, and covered the little hole in the wall. He then painted over it so that no one would ever be able to tell there had been a hole in the first place. "The hole is gone," Juan told little Johnny that night. "But El Cuco is still there. Be strong, my son, be good." "No, no, no, you said it lives in the hole, and the hole is gone," little Johnny said. "No more cuckoo." "Be careful what you say," Juan warned. "The only way to keep El Cuco away is to be strong, to be good." "Cuckoo all gone," little Johnny teased as he jumped and danced on the bed. "Cuckoo can't get me, cuckoo can't get me." That night, little Johnny heard a muffled sound coming from inside the wall where the hole used to be. "I'm coming for you, niño malo," a voice said. There was scratching and pounding and scratching as plaster and dust and plaster fell from the wall. Little Johnny was too scared to look, too scared to cry, too scared even to wet the bed. "I don't like bad little boys," the voice said, now free from the wall. "You should have listened to your papá. Pero es demasiado tarde ahora. It's too late now. Oh, you know what else I don't like?" the voice whispered into little Johnny's terrified ear. "I really don't like to be called Cuckoo. My name is El Cuco." El Cuco opened up a large sack filled with other bad children and dropped little Johnny inside. Then he was gone. The next morning, little Johnny was gone too, but the hole